Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is going to be a makeup tutorial focusing on this look right here. I wanted to sort of work with the neon trend, and I was also kind of inspired to work with the colors green and pink together, and this is the look that resulted from that thought. I paired this eye look with a very bright and bold lip, but you can do whatever lip color you want, of course. I think that a bright pink lip would work amazing with this look as well, but I wanted to avoid making this look a little bit too monochromatic because I wanted to break things up. I wanted to add something besides just pink and green, which is why I did go for the purplish kind of like plum colored lip. And I will say that if you're also willing to go a little bit more neutral, a nude lip would work just fine with this look as well. But this is the color combination I was going for today, so if you want to see how I created it, then of course keep on watching. I have been incredibly inspired by the color combination pink and really bright green. So I have that kind of like color story in my head, and I think that I want to use the Colourpop Ooh La La palette. I recently picked this up and started using it again, and I literally do not want to put it down. And then I also have the Pinky Rose Bright Lights palette, which you guys know if you have been watching me for a while. This was actually one of my first colorful palettes, and I particularly really want to use Smash, which is like this color right here. So I have this palette, I have the Ooh La La palette, and I think that if I want to add any more colors in, I think I might be dipping into the Color Drain palette. We shall see. I'm not sure if I'll be using this palette today, but we'll see. So anyway, I think that I'm about ready to rumble, if you will. I'm going to first start off with this brush right here. It has a little bit of pink eyeshadow on it, but that is totally okay because I'll be using it for pink eyeshadow anyway. And this is like a stiff brush with a little bit of a point at the top. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but that's pretty much what it looks like. It's a very inexpensive brush from BH Cosmetics. So I'm just going to be coating the brush using this color right here. Actually, scratch that. I think that I have to switch brushes and I have to go in with this tiny brush right here, and I'll be using this to apply my brow bone highlight, which I just remembered I really do have to apply before I start any eyeshadow application. I mean, sometimes I get lazy and I don't do a brow bone highlight, but I have noticed that a brow bone highlight just really helps me sculpt my eye makeup look in a really interesting way. That makes no sense, I know, but like, I think that the brow bone highlight just helps lift the face so beautifully, and I really do like the effect that it creates. And I mixed these two shades, by the way, from the Ooh La La palette. I kind of wanted like a very light gold effect, and I know that if I just apply this color, it's a little bit dark on me because I'm not quite tanned just yet. So anyway, back to this brush. I don't really need to apply any more color onto it. I will be applying this color by first like just really packing it on, and later I'll be using the same brush to blend it out a bit. I'm going to go back in with some more pink. I think I want to go in with another brush. This is just a really fluffy brush, and there is some pink eyeshadow on it, and I don't really mind that since I pretty much am going to be dipping in to the Colored Raine Vivid Pigments palette. I'm going to be picking up this like really bright pink shadow, and I'm just going to be running this into my crease. And the reason why I'm using this color instead of the other color from the Colourpop palette is because since this particular pink is a pigment, it literally gives me so much more impact and so much more saturation, which is what I want at this stage. This is actually, from what I can gather, an eyeshadow, but it blends out really easily. It's really easy to work with, but a lot of times whenever I'm using this color, if I really want to get a lot of intensity with the pink shade, I have to layer it, and quite frankly, if I have a pigment like this one right here, I can just, dip the brush in here just a little bit and run it into my crease, and all of a sudden I have literally so much more like impact. And I'm saying this not because I am questioning the quality of this palette at all. It's just that these are kind of different mediums almost. This is an eyeshadow. The Color Drain Pressed Pigments palette is a pigment palette, so you're going to get more product or you're going to get more saturation if you use a pigment rather than an eyeshadow anyway. So that's kind of why I'm using two different shades of pink. I know it's kind of extra. It's totally unnecessary, but since I already do own these two palettes, it's just easy for me, so I just go ahead and do it. I absolutely like love using like a really fluffy brush with pigments because then the color disperses quite evenly, if it's a good formula, of course, and it's really just bright and saturated, and you really get a wonderful even wash of color, which I rather do like. So I think that this so far is looking quite good. I'm trying to think about like what color I want for the center of my eyelid, and I'm not quite sure. I could go one of two ways. I could either apply more pink or I could do another color, and I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I'm trying to think. Tell you what, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into this palette and I'm going to pick up this color called Glitz. This happens to be a very reflective, beautiful, like turquoise color, and I'm going to pretty much apply this right into the center portion of my eyelid. I love using my fingers because I feel that way I get a lot more pigmentation and a lot more vibrancy. I'm going to take this brush, and this has a little bit of pink eyeshadow on it, and I'm just going to use this brush to diffuse the edges of that highlight shade so it's not so harsh in the center of the look. I'm going to go back in with this fluffy brush, dip it into this pigment, and again run this color into my crease. I'm being a little bit sloppy with this, but I mean, I think it's totally fine for this particular look because I am so far only using two colors, and I feel like it's coming together quite nicely. I feel like applying the turquoisey like highlight shadow with my finger and then using this crease brush to just apply some pink into the crease really just worked wonders for this particular eye look because I'm able to really create like an ombre turquoise effect, which I really do rather like. So far it's looking really blended, which is good because I feel like so far I want it to look blended, but I have a feeling that later on I will be going for something a little bit less blended, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to work on this eye, and I'm going to catch up to this eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, so next is the part where I just basically take a little bit of foundation. Right now I'm using the Sephora Fond de Teint Perfection 10-Hour Wear Foundation. This is a product that I'm testing out. I'm trying to work on it and I'm trying to see how I like it. So I will be doing a foundation declutter in a future video, and in that video I think I'll be giving you guys like rundowns on pretty much every single foundation in my collection. But for now I'm literally going through like all the different foundations in my collection. I'm taking notes, and in a little bit, I will be able to have like a very in-depth video in which I explain all the different foundations in my collection and what I think of them. If you're interested in seeing my foundation collection, I actually do have like a video on my channel called Foundations, the Good, the Bad, and the Unused, in which I literally break it down and I go through literally every single foundation in my collection, and I talk to you guys about some of my favorite formulas and the formulas that I've sort of forgotten about. And I know that this foundation was a foundation that I had not used in a very long time, and that video was sort of like motivation for me to go ahead and use this foundation some more so I can give you guys a good idea of what I think of this foundation. What I do these days is I just apply a little bit of foundation to my face. I usually just take a flat brush and I apply the foundation to key points of my face like I just showed you guys. And now I'm taking a buffing brush and I'm literally just blending the entire thing out. So now I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll be dipping into this color right here using my fingertips, and I'm going to be applying this color right into my inner corner. I have been so inspired to really go ahead and use like the color combination pink and green in my makeup. And I don't know, let's just see how this turns out. Since pink and green are colors that don't necessarily work well together, usually I'm literally just pressing the green into my inner corner, and I'm not too worried about blending it out because I know that that probably won't end well. So far I'm just literally going to be taking this color and pressing it into my inner corner using my fingertips. I feel like this is creating like this really interesting sort of like neonish effect that I frankly love. To add something extra to that area of my face, I'm going to dip another finger into this yellow, and I want to just dab this, actually, I was gonna put it like right on top of that green, but I'm looking at that and I really don't like it, so I'm just gonna go ahead with my other finger and just put some green shadow on top. So, crisis averted. I feel like so far this looks rather interesting. I'm thinking that it would be rather interesting if I did like a really like electrified blue lower lash line, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to dip into this color right here called Drip Drop, and I'm essentially going to swipe this into my lower lash line area. I have just decided to switch to a little bit of a stiffer brush. I feel like that brush is a better brush for like blending the lower lash line out, quite frankly, but I really want the lower lash line to be quite intense with the initial application, so I'm just going to use this stiffer brush to apply the color. And then I'm going to go back in with this other brush, dip it into the sky blue color, and use this to diffuse the blue out in my lower lash line. I like how this is looking so far. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye, and I'll be right back. I'm going to go back in and take this color right here and just again re-intensify this particular shade in my inner corner. I'm going to go ahead and do my mascara and apply some false lashes, and I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and do my highlight now. This is the Tarte highlight in the shade Exposed. I have been using this a lot more often than I used to. It really is quite a nice highlighter. It's pretty much like a light, like gold color, and I really do like it. And I'm lightly going to contour my face using the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit in the shade Medium, I believe. Yes, it's light to medium. So I'm just going to use this to carve out my face. Sorry, the light in here is changing so much. I'm trying to adjust my camera settings as I move with this video because the lighting is so unpredictable. Okay, for some reason, I'm really into this look. It's like really light and quite like low maintenance. Definitely not too like dramatic, but it's very neon in some cases, in some ways, and I really do love that. I'm going to take another brush. This is like a pretty big, like fluffy face brush, and I'm just going to lightly dip it into these two colors. And I think I want to lightly add some color to the center of my face because I mean, I feel like I want to look a little bit sun-kissed, but Not so much that I look like I have like a literal fake tan, but I just want to give myself a little bit of color. For lip color, I think I want to go with a combination of the Sephora Cream Lip Stain, and this is in the shade number 14, and also the Revlon lipstick, and this is in the shade 467 Plum Baby. I'm going to be applying this liquid lipstick around the contours of my mouth, and then I'll be applying this right in the center. I really like this lip look so far, however, I am going to go ahead and use the Colourpop lip gloss in the shade Fairy Floss right in the center because I really want that extra highlight right there. That's pretty much about it for this makeup tutorial. I absolutely love how it turned out. It's just like an interesting combination of really bright neon tones combined with like a really bold lip with like a touch of like purple in the lip, but then like the eyes are so like bright and vivid. I really do like this look. It's like very minimal, but at the same time it's quite impactful, and I feel like that's what draws me to it. So thank you so much for watching till the end. I do hope you enjoyed this video and found it interesting. Let me know what you think of this look down below and I'll get back to you. But yeah, I guess we'll see each other in tomorrow's video. Bye guys.